You ever walk away from a conversation, maybe a tough meeting at work, or even just a disagreement with a friend, and you just think, man, I wish I had handled that better? Yeah, that feeling, that little gap between what we know we should do and how we actually act in the moment, that's what we're digging into today. The invisible but absolutely critical power of soft skills. It's kind of funny, isn't it? The more our world gets packed with AI, with automation, the more our actual humanity is worth. As the machines take over all the technical stuff, what's left is, well, us. Our ability to connect with each other, to create, to really understand one another. And the folks at the top are all saying the same thing. These human skills are our new superpowers. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If these skills are so crucial for, success, happiness, everything, why do we treat them like an afterthought? In our homes, our schools, even our jobs. So what is going on here? Well, what we're dealing with is this fundamental mismatch. It's a huge gap between the kind of education we're getting and the skills we actually need to thrive in the modern world. And this is where that disconnect just becomes crystal clear. On one hand, you've got our academic system, which is totally laser-focused on knowledge, facts, figures, theories. But then you step out into the real world, and it runs on a completely different engine. It runs on negotiation, teamwork, emotional intelligence. We put all this trust in schools to get our kids ready for life, but it feels like they're missing a giant piece of the puzzle. Okay, so if schools aren't the main place this happens, where does it all begin? Well, it starts way before any classroom. It starts in our very first school, our home. Just think about it. How a family handles arguments and disagreements, it tells you basically everything you need to know about their emotional health. When a family learns how to work through things constructively, it's not just about, keeping the peace. It's like a living laboratory for resilience, for communication, for self-control. And this might be the most important takeaway of all. For generations, we've been obsessed with IQ. But you know what? The research is so clear on this. Your emotional quotient, your EQ, is a way, way better predictor of your long-term success and happiness. That empathy, that resilience you learn around the dinner table, it pays off for your entire life. So if the home is that foundation, then the classroom is the first big test, right? It's where all those skills get polished and scaled and really put to the test in a much bigger social world. In this setting, the teacher is so much more than just an instructor. They are the #1 role model. When a teacher handles their own stress well, when they communicate with empathy, when they navigate conflict, they're not just teaching a subject, they are the lesson. They're creating an environment where kids feel safe enough to learn these critical skills for themselves. So how do we make this a reality? It's not some abstract idea. We need a clear, strategic investment in our teachers. It means giving them practical tools in 4 key areas. First, managing their own emotions. Second, communicating assertively with everyone, students and parents alike. Third, turning conflicts into teaching moments. And fourth, really, truly listening to and understanding what their students need. And that brings us to our final stop, the place where the presence, or, the absence of these skills shows up directly on the bottom line, the workplace. This is such a classic dilemma for businesses. For years, training has been seen as an expense, right? It's the first thing on the chopping block when budgets get tight. But that's just looking at it completely backwards. Investing in your people's skills isn't a cost. It's the actual engine that powers your company's growth. You ever wonder why so many promising businesses just seem to hit a wall and stop growing? It's almost never because they ran out of customers. More often than not, it's a breakdown inside the company, a breakdown in communication, in teamwork, in leadership. Not investing in your people creates a very real ceiling on your growth. At the end of the day, you can have the best product or service in the world, but its true potential is only unlocked by your team. The real growth of your business is in your people. So invest in your team, and you invest in your own success. It's that simple. So we've looked at the home, the school, and the workplace. But here's the thing. They're not separate boxes. They're all deeply connected in what you could call a virtuous circle. First, it all starts in the home, right? That's where we forge individuals who walk out into the world with a foundation of empathy and resilience. Then, those skills get amplified and supercharged in our schools, which prepares a whole new generation that's ready for whatever challenges come their way. And finally, these well-rounded people are the ones who drive our workplaces, building the kind of collaborative, innovative, and resilient businesses that really last. It's this incredible feedback loop. Better parents raise better students. Better students grow up to become better colleagues and leaders. And those leaders, they go on to create healthier families and stronger communities. An investment anywhere in this cycle doesn't just help one person. It creates these positive ripples that can last for generations. So when you look at this whole cycle, at home, in school, at work, you're a part of it. Right now. We all are. So the question really isn't if we should be investing in these human skills. The real question is, where will you make your first investment?